You have the power within you to change your life. Right now, at this very moment, you possess something extraordinary, the ability to choose your thoughts. That single choice is the key to unlocking everything you're capable of. Because make no mistake, negative thinking is a thief. It steals your joy, robs you of opportunity, and traps you in a cycle of fear and self-doubt. But today that ends. Today we make a decision to silence the noise, to take back control, and to kill negative thinking once and for all. Before we fully dive in, I just ask for one small thing. If you can, take a second to like or hype the video. It helps to reach more people who might need these words today. Thank you. Now, how many times have you talked yourself out of a dream? How many chances have you let slip away because that little voice in your head whispered, "You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not ready"? That voice is a liar. It feeds on your insecurities and grows stronger every time you listen to it. But the moment you challenge it, the moment you choose a different thought, it loses its power. You see, your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant and nurture is what will grow. If you constantly feed it doubt, fear, and limitation, that's what will shape your reality. But if you plant seeds of belief, gratitude, and courage, your life will begin to transform in ways you never imagined. This isn't about pretending that life is easy or that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing how you respond to those challenges. It's about realizing that you have the strength within you to face anything and the resilience to rise every single time you fall. There was once a young man who grew up in poverty. He had every reason to believe that life was unfair, that success belonged to other people. But one day he made a choice. He decided that his circumstances would not define him. He refused to let his environment dictate his destiny. Instead of focusing on what he lacked, he focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions, his mindset. Day by day, he worked on himself. When negative thoughts crept in, he didn't let them linger. He replaced them with words of power. He surrounded himself with people who lifted him up, not dragged him down. He filled his mind with knowledge that inspired him, with ideas that pushed him forward. He set goals, he worked tirelessly, and he refused to quit. Years later, that same young man became a successful entrepreneur, a loving father, and a respected member of his community. He didn't get there by luck. He got there by mastering his mind. He killed negative thinking and built a mindset of growth and possibility. And that same power exists within you. You can rewrite your story starting today, but it requires action. It requires discipline. It requires you to become the guardian of your mind, to decide which thoughts get to stay and which ones must go. So how do we do it? How do we kill negative thinking once and for all? It begins with awareness. Most people go through life on autopilot, letting their thoughts drift wherever they please, never questioning whether those thoughts even serve them, but not you. From this moment on, you must become aware of what you're thinking. Pay attention to that voice in your head. What is it saying? Is it encouraging you or tearing you down? Is it empowering you or holding you back? Once you become aware of your thoughts, challenge them. Don't just accept every negative idea as truth. Ask yourself, is this really true? What proof do I have? You'll discover that most negative thoughts are nothing but fear disguised as logic. They aren't facts, they're habits. And once you realize that, you can begin to change them. Replace the negative with the positive. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing to focus on your strengths instead of your weaknesses, your potential instead of your limitations. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not smart enough to get that promotion," say, I have valuable skills and experience to offer. I'm going to work hard, keep learning, and give it everything I've got. Because your brain believes what you tell it. If you constantly feed it negativity, it will search for proof to confirm it. But if you feed it empowering thoughts, it will find reasons to believe in your success. Every thought you choose plants a seed. Every seed becomes your future. So choose wisely. Choose growth. Choose belief. Choose the mindset that will shape the life you truly deserve. Remember, your brain believes whatever you tell it. It listens to your inner dialogue more than it listens to anyone else. If you constantly feed it messages of doubt, fear, and limitation, it will look for evidence to prove those messages right. It will filter your world through the lens of negativity. But if you choose to feed it empowering, uplifting thoughts, your mind will start to seek evidence that supports those instead. The more you repeat positivity, the more your brain rewires itself to expect it, to find it, to create it. Your thoughts literally build the foundation of your reality. One of the most powerful tools in killing negative thinking is gratitude. You cannot feel truly negative when your heart is focused on what you're grateful for. Gratitude is the antidote to anxiety. It's impossible to be bitter and thankful at the same time. Every day, make it a habit to pause and list at least 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest meaning. Maybe it's the warmth of the morning sun on your face. Maybe it's the sound of laughter from someone you love. Maybe it's the meal that nourished you or the friend who reached out just to see how you were doing. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already there. It retrains your brain to look for what's right instead of what's wrong. And over time, that shift becomes your default way of thinking. Natural, automatic, unstoppable. The words you use, both in your mind and out loud, shape the world around you. Language has energy. It can build or it can destroy. It can lift you up or it can bury you under the weight of your own self-doubt. Start paying attention to the words that come out of your mouth. Are you saying things like, I can't, it's too hard, or I'll never be able to? Those phrases are poison. They're self-fulfilling prophecies that program your mind to accept defeat before you've even begun. The moment you say, I can't, your mind stops looking for a solution. But the moment you say, how can I? A door opens. When you say, it's too hard, shift it to, this is challenging, but I'm getting stronger. When you say, I'll never be able to, replace it with, I'm learning, I'm improving, and I'm working toward it. Your words create your world. Speak power, speak life, speak possibility. Another crucial key to killing negative thinking is surrounding yourself with positivity. The people you spend your time with, the media you consume, the books you read, the conversations you have, they all feed your mind. Ask yourself honestly, does my environment lift me up or drain me? Do the people around me encourage my growth or keep me trapped in cycles of negativity? You don't have to cut people off completely, but you do need to limit your exposure to constant complaining, drama, or pessimism. Protect your mental space. Seek out people who challenge you to think bigger. Learn from mentors who inspire you. Fill your mind with uplifting stories, podcasts, and books that ignite your purpose and push you toward progress. The more positivity you surround yourself with, the easier it becomes to maintain a positive mindset because your environment will begin to support your vision instead of suffocating it. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but my life is hard right now. Things keep going wrong. How am I supposed to stay positive when everything around me feels like it's falling apart? I hear you. Life can be brutally tough. We all face disappointment, failure, heartbreak, and loss. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond to it. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, once said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." Even in the darkest of moments, you still have that power. You can choose to rise. You can choose to find meaning in your struggle. You can choose to turn pain into purpose. When life hits you hard, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunity might this be creating? It doesn't mean ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging your feelings, processing them in a healthy way, and then deciding that they will not define you. It means standing up after every fall and saying, "This will not break me. This will build me, because no matter how heavy life gets, as long as you can control your attitude, you can control your direction." And when you choose hope over despair, gratitude over bitterness, faith over fear, you take back your power one thought at a time. Every successful person you look up to has faced failure, disappointment, and rejection. The difference between them and the rest is not that they never failed. It's that they refused to let those failures define them. They turned every setback into a stepping stone, every obstacle into a lesson, every no into motivation to push harder. Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of a winner. That's the kind of thinking that changes the world. Winners don't see failure as the end. They see it as feedback, as information, as part of the process. So how do you keep a positive mindset when life gets hard? One powerful technique is visualization. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. When you visualize success, you're literally rewiring your mind to expect it, to prepare for it, to create it. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you want. See yourself walking into that room with confidence. Hear the applause as you achieve your goal. Feel the joy of crossing that finish line. Smell the air, sense the energy, live it in your mind as if it's already happening. The more real you make it internally, the more your subconscious works to bring it into existence. You're not just dreaming, you're programming your brain for success. Another critical pillar of maintaining a positive mindset is taking care of your physical health. Your mind and body are deeply connected. When your body suffers, your mind follows. When you neglect sleep, eat junk, or stay sedentary, you make it harder to think clearly, harder to stay optimistic, harder to feel strong. Treat your body like an ally, not an afterthought. Get enough rest. Feed yourself foods that energize you, not drain you. Move your body. Exercise isn't just for your muscles. It's for your mind. It releases endorphins that lift your mood and clear the mental fog. And don't forget the quiet moments. Meditation and mindfulness help you catch negative thoughts before they spiral, giving you the power to control them instead of letting them control you. Without clear goals, even the strongest mind begins to wander. When you don't know where you're going, it's easy to lose motivation and slip into negativity. So set goals, clear, specific, meaningful goals. Write them down. Break them into steps you can act on daily. Celebrate small wins along the way, because every small victory builds momentum and belief. Goals give you direction. They give you something positive to focus on when everything else feels uncertain. But remember this, your goals must be yours. Don't chase what others tell you to want. Don't live by society's definition of success. Choose goals that align with your values, your passions, your purpose. And purpose is everything. Purpose gives your life meaning beyond your routines, beyond your struggles. It gives you a reason to rise when you fall. Your purpose doesn't have to be huge or world-changing. It just has to matter to you. Maybe it's being the best parent you can be. Maybe it's creating art that touches someone's soul. Maybe it's building something that improves one person's life. Whatever it is, let it guide you. Purpose is your North Star. It keeps you moving even when the road is dark. Some people think positive thinking means pretending everything is fine, ignoring pain, or denying reality. But that's not positivity. That's avoidance. Real positivity is about facing problems head on with faith and courage. It's not saying nothing's wrong. It's saying, no matter what's wrong, I'll find a way through it. When you face a challenge, instead of thinking, this is terrible, I'll never get through this, try thinking, this is tough, but I've overcome worse before. I can do it again. That's how you shift from a victim mindset to an empowered one. You're not helpless. You're not trapped. You are the author of your own story, and every chapter of struggle can become a story of strength. And finally, forgiveness. One of the most powerful tools in destroying negative thinking. Holding on to anger, grudges, and resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. It doesn't hurt them. It eats away at you. Forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of what happened or forget the pain. It means you choose peace over bitterness. You choose freedom over emotional chains. And forgiveness isn't just for others. It's for yourself too. Stop punishing yourself for the mistakes of your past. You are not the same person you were back then. Learn from what went wrong, make amends where you can, and then let it go. Don't keep reopening old wounds that are trying to heal. You are not defined by what you've done. You are defined by what you choose to do next. When you forgive, you make room for peace. When you let go, you create space for growth. When you release the weight of resentment, you rise higher than ever before. And that right there is how you take your power back from negativity. It's how you start living life on your terms. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by who you choose to be right now in this very moment. Every second gives you a new chance to decide who you are, what you stand for, and what direction your life will take. The past may have shaped you, but it does not have to limit you. You have the power to rewrite your story starting today. Positive thinking is powerful, but it must walk hand in hand with positive action. You can't sit still, repeat affirmations, and expect your life to magically transform. Thoughts create vision, but action creates change. When you take even the smallest step toward your goals, you build momentum. You create proof for yourself that you are capable of progress. That single action, no matter how small, becomes fuel for the next. Confidence is not built by waiting. It's built by doing. Start small if you have to. Make your bed each morning. Go for a 10-minute walk. Send that message you've been avoiding. Organize one corner of your room. Take one step, then another, and another. Action feeds motivation. The more you do, the more you'll want to do. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering speed and power as it moves. Progress compounds. Momentum grows. Before you know it, what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. Another key to killing negative thinking is learning to embrace failure. Too many people are paralyzed by the fear of it. They'd rather stay still than risk falling. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person you admire has failed over and over again. The difference is that they refuse to let those failures define them. When you fail, don't call it defeat, call it feedback. Each mistake carries a lesson, and those lessons are the building blocks of greatness. Develop a growth mindset. Believe that your abilities can be developed through effort, practice, and persistence. Talent is only the starting point. It's your dedication and consistency that shape your future. Success isn't given. It's earned through learning, adapting, and never giving up. In today's social media world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparison. We scroll through highlight reels of other people's lives and convince ourselves that we're behind. But what you see online is not the full picture. It's a snapshot, a filtered moment. You're not in competition with anyone else. Your journey is your own, and your timing is perfect for you. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Focus on your own progress, no matter how small. Celebrate every step forward. Remember, success is not limited. Someone else's victory doesn't take away from yours. In fact, their success is proof that it's possible. Let it inspire you, not discourage you. When you see others win, it means winning is within reach. Another powerful way to destroy negative thinking is through reframing, learning to see situations from a different perspective. Life won't always go as planned, but you always have a choice in how you interpret what happens to you. Lost your job? Maybe it's the push you needed to start that business you've been dreaming about. A relationship ended? Maybe it's creating space for someone who will truly value you. Reframing doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It means choosing to focus on the potential for growth instead of getting stuck in disappointment. Every difficulty carries the seed of opportunity, if you're willing to look for it. And through it all, never forget the importance of self-care in maintaining a positive mindset. Too often, we give everything we have to others, our time, our energy, our attention, and leave nothing for ourselves. Then we wonder why we feel empty, drained, or negative. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. When you nurture yourself, you strengthen your ability to show up fully in every other area of your life. Self-care looks different for everyone. Maybe for you, it's taking a quiet walk in nature, reading a book that fills your mind with peace, soaking in a warm bath after a long day, or setting boundaries that protect your energy. Maybe it's saying no to commitments that don't serve you, or simply allowing yourself to rest without guilt. Whatever it is, make time for it. Schedule it like any other important appointment, because it is one. When you treat yourself with care and respect, you remind your mind and body that you are worthy of peace, balance, and happiness. The more you take care of yourself, the easier it becomes to think clearly, to act courageously, and to stay positive, no matter what life throws your way. Another crucial part of killing negative thinking is building resilience, the strength to bounce back from setbacks, to keep moving when life knocks you down. Resilience is what separates those who crumble from those who rise stronger than before. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build through experience, through persistence, through refusing to quit. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to strengthen that muscle. Every obstacle you overcome teaches your mind one unshakable truth. I can handle this. I've done it before, and I can do it again. Resilience grows each time you push through difficulty instead of surrendering to it. One way to build it is through optimistic self-talk. When you face a setback, it's easy to fall into that spiral of, this always happens to me. I'll never succeed. But instead, train your mind to respond differently. Say to yourself, this is temporary. I can learn from this. I can come back stronger. That shift in language changes everything. You stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as part of the process. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel pain, frustration, or sadness. It means you don't let those emotions define you. You acknowledge them, feel them, and then keep going anyway. That's true strength. Your environment also plays a massive role in your mindset. A cluttered space leads to a cluttered mind. When your surroundings are chaotic, it becomes harder to think clearly or feel calm. Take time to create an environment that supports positivity and peace. Declutter your space. Add plants that bring life into your room. Hang artwork that inspires you. Create a small area that feels like your sanctuary, a place for reflection, meditation, or silence. And remember, your digital environment matters just as much. If you're constantly surrounded by negative news, toxic arguments, and endless scrolling through other people's lives, it's no wonder you feel drained. Start curating your online world. Follow pages that motivate you. Listen to voices that uplift you. Replace noise with nourishment. Another powerful weapon against negative thinking is mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply being fully present in the moment, without judgment, without reaction. It's learning to observe your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. When you practice mindfulness, you realize something liberating. You are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but they don't define you. They come and go like clouds in the sky. You get to decide which ones to focus on, which ones to believe, and which ones to let drift away. The more mindful you become, the less power negativity has over you. You can acknowledge it without feeding it, notice it without surrendering to it, and redirect your energy towards something constructive. Don't forget the importance of celebrating your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Most of us are so focused on the next goal, the next milestone, the next mountain to climb, that we forget to look back and see how far we've already come. Take time each day to acknowledge your progress. Maybe you made a healthy choice today. Maybe you had a good conversation with someone you care about. Maybe you took one small step toward a big dream. Every little victory matters. Celebrating these moments builds momentum. It reinforces your belief that you're capable of success. It trains your brain to seek out what's good in your life instead of what's lacking. Another essential part of maintaining a positive mindset is continuous learning and growth. When you're learning, you're expanding your mind. You're keeping it alive and forward focused. Stagnation breeds negativity, but growth creates energy and excitement. Read books that challenge you. Take courses that inspire you. Try new things. Step into situations that make you a little uncomfortable. That's where growth lives, just outside your comfort zone. Every time you push yourself to learn something new, you remind your mind that you are capable of progress, that you are not stuck. And each time you face fear and move through it, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you ever imagined. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to kill negative thinking is through service, helping others. When you shift your focus from your own problems to making a difference in someone else's life, your perspective changes. It's hard to feel hopeless when you're given hope. It's hard to feel worthless when you're adding value to someone else's world. Service doesn't have to mean grand gestures. You don't have to start a foundation or give away fortunes. Sometimes it's as simple as being there for a friend who needs you, smiling at a stranger, mentoring someone younger, or volunteering a bit of your time. Small acts of kindness ripple outward in ways you can't imagine. They spread positivity beyond what you can see. And in doing so, they heal the negativity within you. When you serve others, you connect to something bigger than yourself. You remember that your life has meaning that you matter, and that you're part of a greater story. And in that connection, negativity loses its grip. Gratitude grows. Purpose deepens. And you begin to see yourself and the world through the lens of possibility again. In the pursuit of killing negative thinking, it's essential to understand one of the most powerful truths about your mind: the concept of neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed. It's not set in stone. It's constantly evolving, reshaping itself, forming new neural pathways based on what you think, feel, and experience. This means that with every thought, you are literally rewiring your brain. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, you strengthen the neural connections that support positivity, confidence, and growth. At first, it takes effort. It feels unnatural, even forced, like trying to carve a new trail through a dense forest. The first time is difficult. You're pushing through resistance, through overgrown habits and old patterns of thinking. But each time you walk that path, each time you choose optimism, gratitude, or courage, it becomes clearer, smoother, easier to travel. Eventually, positivity becomes your brain's path of least resistance. It becomes your natural state of being. Another powerful tool for reprogramming your mind is the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself until they take root. They counter negative self-talk and replace it with empowering beliefs. When you tell yourself, "I am capable of handling whatever comes my way," or "I am worthy of love and success," you are planting seeds of truth into your subconscious. At first, those words might feel uncomfortable or false, especially if you've spent years feeding yourself doubt. But consistency changes everything. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. It simply believes what it's told repeatedly. The more you affirm your power, your worth, your strength, the more your mind begins to believe it. And soon, it becomes your reality. Equally important in maintaining a positive mindset is developing emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, manage, and channel your emotions in a healthy way. Emotional intelligence doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending you're fine when you're not. It means becoming aware of your emotions without being ruled by them. When you can recognize what you're feeling and why, you gain control over your reactions. Instead of exploding in anger, you pause. Instead of drowning in sadness, you find meaning in it. Instead of letting fear stop you, you use it as motivation. Emotional intelligence also helps you empathize with others, to see beyond your own perspective, to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. It's a skill, and like any skill, it gets stronger the more you practice. Another essential part of killing negative thinking is learning to set and protect healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates. They define what you allow in and what you keep out. Without boundaries, it's easy to fall into people-pleasing, saying yes when you want to say no, taking on more than you can handle, or tolerating disrespect that slowly erodes your self-esteem. All of that feeds negative thinking. Boundaries, on the other hand, protect your peace. They remind you and others that your time, energy, and mental health matter. It might feel uncomfortable at first to set limits, especially if you're used to putting everyone else first, but remember, self-care is not selfish. Boundaries allow you to show up more authentically, more fully, and with more love, because you're not running on empty. In this journey of transformation, it's also crucial to confront perfectionism, one of the biggest enemies of positivity. While striving for excellence can inspire growth, perfectionism does the opposite. It whispers that you're never good enough, that no matter how much you achieve, it's not enough. It breeds stress, self-doubt, and constant comparison. But here's the truth. Perfection doesn't exist. You don't need to be flawless to be valuable. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Learn to embrace the idea of good enough. Making mistakes doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. It means you're learning. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to be better than you were yesterday. That's real growth. That's real success. Another transformative mindset in combating negativity is the practice of radical acceptance. This doesn't mean you have to like everything that happens in your life or that you give up trying to improve it. It means acknowledging reality as it is, without denial or resistance. When you fight against what is, you create suffering for yourself. You waste energy wishing things were different instead of using that energy to move forward. Acceptance frees you. It gives you clarity and peace. It allows you to focus on what you can control, your attitude, your actions, your response. Radical acceptance doesn't mean you surrender to negative circumstances. It means you face them with honesty and courage. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do with this? That shift in mindset turns pain into power. And when you combine acceptance with curiosity, you open the door to infinite possibilities. Instead of immediately labeling something as bad or unfair, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How might this help me grow? What new perspective can this experience give me? Curiosity softens judgment. It transforms frustration into understanding. It helps you see that every experience, good or bad, has something to teach you if you're willing to listen. And that's what killing negative thinking is truly about. Reclaiming control over your mind, your emotions, and your life. It's not pretending everything is perfect. It's learning to see that even imperfection can be beautiful when viewed through the right lens. Curiosity keeps your mind flexible and open. It allows you to see beyond your first reaction, beyond the fear, the frustration, or the confusion, and uncover new perspectives and creative solutions to your challenges. When you approach life with curiosity instead of judgment, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this? That shift opens doors that negativity keeps closed. Another essential part of maintaining a positive mindset is managing your energy. Your thoughts and emotions are directly tied to your physical and mental energy levels. When you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or running on empty, positivity becomes harder to access. Your patience runs thin, your focus blurs, and your perspective narrows. That's why managing your energy isn't optional. It's vital. It means knowing when to push yourself and when to rest. It means recognizing that rest is not weakness, it's fuel. It means prioritizing the people, places, and activities that recharge you and limiting the ones that drain you. Learn to say no to commitments that don't align with your goals or your values. You are not a machine. You can't operate at full capacity all the time. Give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, to recover. Rest is not laziness. It's an investment in clarity, strength, and long-term growth. A well-rested mind thinks better, solves problems faster, and finds hope where exhaustion once found despair. In your quest to kill negative thinking, you must also examine the impact of your social circle. The people you spend time with shape your mindset more than you realize. Their energy becomes your energy. Their attitude, whether positive or negative, seeps into your own. Surround yourself with those who lift you, who encourage you to grow, who believe in your potential even when you doubt it. Limit your exposure to chronic complainers, pessimists, or those who thrive on drama. Negativity is contagious, but so is optimism. Protect your environment like you protect your dreams. You don't need to cut people out entirely, but you do need to manage how much of yourself you give to relationships that drain you. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. Spend time with those who inspire you to think bigger, love deeper, and rise higher. Another powerful tool in combating negative thinking is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and emotions is more than an exercise. It's a form of self-awareness and healing. Journaling helps you process what you feel, identify patterns, and recognize the triggers that lead to negativity. It brings clarity to the chaos in your mind. Try keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't need to be grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest moments are the most meaningful. The taste of your morning coffee, the quiet of early dawn, a kind message from a friend. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already good. You can also keep a wins journal, a simple record of your daily accomplishments, no matter how small. It could be something like finishing a workout, completing a task you were avoiding, or choosing patience in a stressful moment. When you feel discouraged, look back at those pages. They'll remind you of your progress, your strength, and how far you've already come. Laughter and joy are also essential in maintaining a positive mindset. Laughter is one of life's most powerful antidotes to negativity. It releases endorphins, reduces stress, and instantly shifts your energy. Make time for joy. Don't treat it as a luxury. Treat it as a necessity. Watch a funny movie. Spend time with people who make you smile. Share stories that make you laugh until your stomach hurts. Find humor in the ordinary moments of life. You don't need everything to be serious to be successful. It's okay to be silly, to make mistakes, to laugh at yourself. Joy doesn't distract you from your goals. It fuels the energy you need to reach them. Another critical step in killing negative thinking is learning to trust yourself. So much negativity stems from self-doubt, from not believing that you have what it takes. We second-guess our decisions, question our instincts, and underestimate our own worth. But building self-trust is one of the most empowering things you can do. It starts small. Keep promises to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Not to prove it to others, but to prove it to yourself. Each time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on you. Honor your own boundaries. Learn to listen to your intuition, that quiet inner voice that knows what's right for you, even before your mind tries to reason it away. When you consistently keep your word to yourself, something powerful happens. Doubt fades and confidence grows. Remember, you are the one constant in your life. People, circumstances, and opportunities may come and go, but you will always have yourself. Trusting that person, the one in the mirror, is how you reclaim your power. And finally, we must talk about comparison. One of the most destructive habits in today's world. In the age of social media, it's easier than ever to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. We scroll through filtered perfection and convince ourselves that we're falling short. But what you're seeing is not the full story. You don't see the doubts behind the smiles, the struggles behind the success, the failures behind the triumphs. Your journey is your own, unique, sacred, and unfolding at its own pace. The only person you need to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Each day, aim to grow a little more, learn a little more, and believe a little more. Someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. It shows you what's possible. When you let go of comparison, you create space for gratitude, for peace, and for authentic progress. The kind that lasts. Remember, social media is a highlight reel. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's carefully edited performance. You see their victories, but not their failures, their smiles, but not their struggles. That kind of comparison is poison. It feeds feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and envy. The truth is, every person you compare yourself to is fighting battles you can't see, carrying burdens you don't know about. So stop measuring your worth against their surface. Instead, measure your growth against who you were yesterday. That's the only comparison that matters. Focus on your own progress, your own evolution. Celebrate your unique journey, the wins, the lessons, and even the setbacks, because they've shaped you into who you are today. Your pace doesn't need to match anyone else's. Your timeline is your own. When you stop competing with others and start growing for yourself, peace replaces pressure and progress becomes natural. Another powerful strategy for combating negative thinking is self-compassion. We are so often our own harshest critics. We say things to ourselves we would never say to someone we love. We tear ourselves down for mistakes, for imperfections, for being human. But the truth is, self-compassion is not weakness, it's strength. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness and patience you'd offer a friend going through a tough time. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone stumbles, everyone has moments of doubt. What matters is how you speak to yourself in those moments. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, when your mind starts whispering, "I'm not enough, I always mess up, I can't do this," pause. Ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, then why say it to yourself? Replace those words with compassion. Try, I'm learning, I'm growing. I made a mistake, but I can make it right. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Self-compassion doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means understanding that growth requires patience, not punishment. Another powerful tool to overcome negative thinking is visualization. Your mind responds to vivid imagery. When you visualize success, truly see it, feel it, live it in your imagination, your subconscious begins to work toward making it real. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself achieving your goals. Picture the details. See yourself walking confidently into that meeting. Feel the excitement of reaching that milestone. Hear the sound of applause or the quiet satisfaction of a goal achieved. The more real you make it in your mind, the more your brain believes it's possible. Your mind doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This is your advantage. When you visualize success repeatedly, you're training your brain to expect it, to prepare for it, and to create it. You begin to act in alignment with that belief. And that's how dreams start to manifest into reality. A crucial part of maintaining a positive mindset is also embracing uncertainty. So much negativity comes from fearing the unknown, from trying to control every outcome, from worrying about what might go wrong. We create entire worst-case scenarios in our minds, living through disasters that haven't even happened. But uncertainty isn't your enemy. It's life's natural rhythm. It's the space where possibility lives. No one knows exactly what the future holds. And that's what makes it beautiful. Instead of fearing uncertainty, try to see it as an adventure, as a chance for discovery and growth. Every uncertain situation holds two sides, fear and opportunity. Choose to focus on the opportunity. When you shift from what if it goes wrong to what if it turns out better than I ever imagined, you open yourself up to miracles. Remember, some of the best things in life, the relationships, the breakthroughs, The opportunities come from the unexpected. And finally, understand this. Killing negative thinking isn't about never having a negative thought again. That's impossible. It's about learning to recognize those thoughts, challenge them, and consciously choose something better. It's about progress, not perfection. There will be good days and bad days. Days when positivity feels effortless, and days when it feels like a battle. But with persistence, awareness, and practice, you can rewire your brain to default toward positivity instead of fear. So when negativity rises, remind yourself, you have a choice. You have the power to direct your thoughts, to shape your mindset, to rewrite your reality. You have the power to turn pain into strength, doubt into determination, fear into faith. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the master of them. And when you take control of that inner world, your outer world will begin to transform. If you're still here, that means you've got the heart of a fighter, someone who refuses to give up. Type, "I'm done with negative thinking" in the comments to mark this moment, the moment your new chapter begins. You have the power to choose your thoughts. You have the power to shape your reality. You have the power to create a life filled with joy, purpose, and positivity. It all begins in your mind, and your mind belongs to you. Remember, only you decide how limitless you are.